Hi, everybody. Um, my name is Joshua. I imagine the first few viewers that check this out are already going to know who I am. Um, I have a few nicknames. Joshalopagus has been the longest one. Um, Speed Bump. That was when I was off off the wheel. I mean, that was bad time in life. Poppy Gringo. Yeah, people call me Poppy Gringo. Not in America, but um, yeah, so I've been wanting to start doing vlogs or podcasts for a while now, and I don't know. I mean, still trying to figure out like the direction to take it, all that, and I guess that'll just kind of come when it needs to. I want it to be about my sobriety. Hopefully, eventually, when I start getting better equipment, um, you know, getting some guest speakers on and stuff like that, just little interviews. A little bit about me. I'm from West Coast, California, a small town called Anderson. I've been sober for almost 2 years now. I've been partying. I'm 33 years old, but I was partying ever since I was 12, 13 years old. Started with cigarettes, got into weed, drinking, pills. I've done about everything besides put a needle in my arm. I've probably done some drugs that some people never even heard of, research chemicals, NOMBE, N-bomb, and that's the same thing right there. I just forget how you say it. 2CB, I'm pretty sure I've taken. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say it was a bad almost 20 years. I don't regret any of it though. Everything happens for a reason, and that's one thing I'm starting to learn. Um, I don't know, I won't lie. I'm a little nervous doing this. The whole world has the possibility of seeing this video, and I don't know. I guess that's just one of the things like the 12 steps is talking about, I mean, that fear. But that fear is going to be creeping up no matter what in my life. And I just kind of got to get over it. The best way to get over something is to, I mean, just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, what? Reading some comments online about people not liking me or thinking I'm ugly. um, I don't have a script per se. I mean, I have ideas of what I want to talk about written down here, but no real like anything written down. I mean, just ideas of what I want to talk about, all that. I guess that's enough for a little intro. But yeah, backstory. Like I mentioned, I've been partying for a long time. Last 2 years, I've been sober. Um, Next week will be my 2 year mark, actually, October 2nd. Um, in 2022 is when things got really bad. I'm not going to go too much into that, but I was drinking, using, just trying to find a way to escape the reality of life. And I got into a really bad situation, and I felt like that I just ruined my entire reputation in my hometown. So I decided best course of action was to run away from my problems. Um, I ended up having my adopted father drive me from Roseburg, Oregon, all the way to the Canadian Washington border to this men's Christian camp type thing. It's way up on a mountain. They want you to do Bible study like three, 4 times a day. You couldn't work while you're there. And those are the last two things I wanted to do, freshly getting sober. Um, I got nothing against religion. Everybody has to have something to live for. But the no working thing was the biggest thing for me, I guess. Because I gotta take care of my kids, I mean, that's important to me. I already failed at that for a long time and can't say I'm perfect, but none of us are perfect. Um, I quickly left that place. I was there for like 3 days, and I ended up hitchhiking, getting rides of just doing whatever I could, and I seen a lot of friends along that way when I left, but I ended up in Central Oregon on the coast, a small town called Coos Bay. Been there a few times in my life, and and got a job working that logging on a yarder crew, all that super intense work. I noticed when I was out there though that I was drinking more than I probably ever did. Did forestry work for a good decent amount of time, tree work, whatever you want to call it, you know. But yeah, that was. I just noticed I was isolating myself and I was drinking a lot, and I knew that was unhealthy. So I decided to pack up and go. I was there for maybe about 5, 6 months. Um, from Central Oregon, I went back home for not even a week. I think I was there for 4 days. Got a bus down to Sacramento. Took a train the rest of the way out to Arizona in I think it was January. Yeah, January. And when I arrived in Arizona, Flagstaff, there was like 2 feet of snow on the ground. I got there like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't even remember when I remember getting to Flagstaff, but I don't remember the 2 days that I spent there because I was just drinking the entire time. And yeah, ended up at the Grand Canyon. That was my second time there. I got a lot of stories, so I'm just gonna try to keep this pretty short about the last couple of years. Um, at the Grand Canyon, I was a janitor up there. I had a job. My initial plan was to get a job at the very bottom at this place called Phantom Ranch, and I actually did get the job. On the day before that I was supposed to hike down to the bottom and start working, I got a little too drunk, um, broke a couple TVs. I don't know. It's pretty bad. And anyways, 2 days after that, I was headed out to um, West Texas to go live with a guy and his girlfriend, a guy I hadn't seen since high school. And yeah, I mean, it was just all part of me wanting to run away from all my problems. And I got out to West Texas, and things were good for the first few months. Living in an apartment, we had to downsize the apartment. Ended up moving to a trailer, just drinking a lot, you know, living life, whatever you want to say. And one day, me and the guy were day drinking, and we decided we wanted to get some cocaine. We both had $100, you know, so $200 altogether. And when his girlfriend got off from work, we all decided to go to the bar, go try and get some cocaine. First guy we met up with, he said he can get us some stuff. So we go back to his apartment, and I was smashed drunk already, passed out on his couch for a little bit. He takes off. When I wake up, there was just a big old line in front of me. So I decide, hey, I'm just going to rip this, you know. And when I did that, it was instant burning sensation. And I looked over at the homeboy, the guy I was living with. He had a bag as big as my fist, maybe a little bit bigger, full of crystal. And that was my first time ever really seeing meth. And I was just like, oh shit, we just committed a felony or two, you know? And yeah, that was wild. Only used meth for about 2.5 months. Never put a needle in my arm. Smoked it a couple times. Yeah, it was all bad. Um, in 2023, September, mid September, about probably like right now, actually, maybe yeah, 2 years ago, a week ago. I don't know how to explain that, but mid September, me and the other two were up for about a week, and they just kind of dropped on me, hey, we're gonna move the Branson here in a couple weeks. You can stay or you can come. And I was just like, well, I don't want to be homeless out in Texas, so I guess I'm coming with you guys. And yeah, so we just quickly packed up and got out to Branson, Missouri. That was a hell of a drive. It's about a 7, 8 hour drive, I think, from where we were in West Texas. But we ended up turning that into about a 16-hour drive because we had to stop at every single gas station to get more high. We were already up for about a week at this point. And I was in Missouri for about 3 days before I put myself into standing by the door, sober living, rehab, whatever you want to call it, you know. Um, go back, let me back up a little bit, but we, I ended up in Rockaway Beach. It was the guy I was living with, it was his buddy's house. We hooked up the whole trailer, all that, and within an hour, we're taking it down because we're all spun the fuck out. And basically, you know, Oh, they all know that we're high. I have no idea. I'm sure they knew, but yeah, we hooked up the trailer. Within an hour, we're taking it down, and at this point, I just could not go on any further. I had to go to sleep, so I fell asleep in the trailer. And when I woke up, I was in Forsyth, middle of nowhere, no phone service, um, and they were gone doing DoorDash, and that's when I knew like things had to change. I had nobody around me that I knew, coming down off the drugs, all that, and it took me a few days to kind of figure it all out. But yeah, called a few friends, just trying to figure out whatever I could. Um, my grandmother was the one that paid for me to get into Stand by the Door, and by the grace of God, thank God she did. I called so many people that day when I was at my wits' end. Called so many people, and she was the last person I wanted to call, and the last person I called, and she was willing and able to help me out that one last time. So thank God for you, Grandma. Thank God. um, yeah, I was at San Badador for almost 2 years. My life was broken in shambles. Owed a lot of money. Found out recently I owe a lot more money. um, it took me, I want to say, like 3, 4 months in. The only reason I was there was just because I needed a place to stay and I had a whole game plan. I was going to leave, go back on the streets or do whatever. And I don't know. I didn't want to get sober when it first happened. But then just something kind of clicked, Still can't explain what, but something told me, like, dude, you fucking need this. You need to be better, You need to be a better dad. You need to be a better friend. You need to be a better person in general. And from that moment on, I think it was maybe January, February 2024 when that all happened. Um, yeah, I decided that I was going to do everything in my power to maintain my sobriety. I was doing psych meds for a little while, going to therapy for almost 2 years, going to therapy. Um, uh, Stand by the Door, the place I was at, they are a Christian ministry. In my first full year there, I dove into the Bible, because I mean, spirituality is a big thing, I guess, for sober people. Um, that summer, 2024, I found out I had to get a pacemaker. Doctor said it's most likely from my drug use and my using that I had to get the pacemaker. And I don't know what it was exactly. Can't Still trying to figure it out. What that moment brought me, but that's when I figured out that I'm not Christian. Nothing against anybody that is Christian. That's just how it is. Um, haven't relapsed yet. They say, I mean, one good day, one bad day away from a relapse. So I can't speak on anybody's relapse or what a relapse is like because I just haven't had that yet. I'm hoping I never do. But yeah, pray for those that are still going through it. I mean, if I can, beat it, I'm sure almost anybody else can. I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job at this. Hmm. Yeah, so philosophy has always been a very big thing for me. Philosophy, psychology. I mean, I consider myself a very spiritual person. Um, I moved to Denver. This is my first 24 hours in Denver, actually, right now, and I love the move. I moved to another sober living, transitional living, whatever you want to call it. I got everything I needed out of that program that I was in, though, in Branson, Missouri. Got everything I needed out of it. I mean, developed a spirituality life, coping mechanisms to deal with life on life's terms. With therapy, I mean, I made leaps with therapy. I mean, I don't know how to say that exactly. Made a lot of progress, though, mentally, spiritually, just trying to be the best human that I possibly can be. I still got a long way to go. Still got a long way to go. Um, Reasons for the move, I guess. I have a few enough reasons, I guess. Hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but whole Christianity aspect that was really getting to me. Um, there's people, saying, "Well, I'm going to pray for you that you see the light," or some stuff around those lines. I was hearing that constantly, and that's fucked up in my opinion. Um, I asked one of the guys actually one time. I was like, "Well, how would you feel if I pray that you think the way that I think, or you believe in the things that I believe in?" He said, "Well, I don't think that'd be very nice." Oh, so it's okay for you to do that? Like, not hypocrisy. Not going to deal with that. There's nothing wrong if you want to be Christian. Everybody has to have something to live for, especially if you're an addict and you're trying to be sober. Finding something to live for that is greater than yourself is very important. And maybe he's enough for some, but Jesus Christ was never enough for me. And that was just really getting at me. I was in the buckle of the Bible belt, they call it. and just unhappy. The last few months, I was very unhappy. The owner of the program, he wrote a few books, and one of the lines in the books that's been sticking out to me for a long time is, "If you're not growing spiritually, you're getting ready for a relapse." And that's how it was really getting. Since May, I was bartending, serving alcohol, and I could have relapsed almost any single day that I wanted to. And it was getting to a point where I had to convince myself almost every night just to go home. And I was stressed there, unhappy, very stagnant. I mean, couldn't get into any of my hobbies or learn things, practice things. And I don't know, I just felt like it was time to make the move. And I think this was one of the best ideas that I've had in a long time. I have really high hopes about Denver. I'm in Aurora specifically. I've only been here 24 hours. The house that I'm at, I have a lot less rules. I don't necessarily have a curfew. I could work a third shift if I wanted to. I don't have to make weekly classes. Um, there's no house fines, nothing like that. I mean, I have chores, but that's just typical. Got to keep the place clean. Um, I don't know. I have a lot more freedom here than I did at standing by the door, and I've never lived in a big city in the U.S. before. I lived 4 years in Guayaquil, Ecuador, and if I can live there, I can live in any city. I'm not necessarily scared of a lot of things. I've seen some shit down there in Ecuador. um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna cut this a little short, I guess, about right here. Um, just trying to think of some outro, I guess now. Um, I'm in an Oxford house, sober living, transitional living. Um, if you're struggling, I mean, there is a way to get out of it. One thing that helped me, or what really helped me, was working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, working on my mental, going to therapy, doing the meds. I'm off meds now since May, actually, too, so I'm just raw dogging life at this point. um, and yeah, I don't know what to expect from Denver. Like I've said, I've only been here 24 hours. I'll easily find a job. I'm hoping I can get back in school. I'm hoping that I can make these kind of videos at least once a week, once every 2 weeks, and just kind of figure out life on life's terms now that I've got a decent grip on it. I've changed a lot these last 2 years. When I first got sober, I mean, I was terrified, scared individual. I mean, even the thought of intimacy, a fucking hug, scared the shit out of me. And now it's just like, I don't necessarily want intimacy. I don't know. I'm a lonely person, but I can't expect anyone to love me if I can't truly love myself or know who I am. And I feel like that's just selfish to put that out there on somebody else. And I don't know. Old me wouldn't care about that. Just watch everything burn down in front of me and throw gaslight on the fire, make it worse. um, yeah, I'm open to all critiques. If there's anything I could work on, practice. I mean, maybe I should do a script. I don't know. I mean, hope you guys like this. Give a follow when you can, I guess. I don't know. I'll be posting more updates later on. And yeah, I think that's just about it for today. So, thank you.